Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. I hope your new week has started well and that you had a lovely, relaxing weekend. I'm a bit giddy today because we've got a really exciting weekend ahead at Lavinia, and do check out our online extravaganza. It's a fairy festival. I'm going to Lavinia HQ to the Dreamatorium. Looking forward to catching up with everybody. Special hugs to everybody. But those of you that can't come and see us and join in with the fun, I hope you'll join in online. So, like I say, I'm a bit giddy, but I have to just relax. And today I thought we'd take things back to basics. It's lovely, but at Lavinia we've had a lot of new followers joining us recently, and when I go around the shows demonstrating, it's lovely to just meet people for the first time. And last weekend I met a lovely lady and a son, and they were really getting into stamping in Lavinia, and it's great. But also, you know, a few of you recently have either had operations or you're looking after somebody, or life's been that hectic you've not crafted for a while. And sometimes when we come back, we almost need to just get ourselves back into it gently. So today, if you don't mind, we're going to have a lovely little session just catching up and going back to basics. And what I thought, I'd create this lovely design for you. Just to start off with, we're going to use one Versafine Clair, and that's the Nocturne. So this is our permanent ink. It doesn't react to water, gives a beautiful fine image, perfect for stamping. And I'm going to come in with one of our Elements inks, and this is a dye-based ink. So when you're starting off, there are lots of things that you can do with it, but the main thing for me, when you're starting off, we're going to use it for backgrounds and blending. And if you're starting off and you can only, you know what it's like when we do start off, crafters are forever saying, what do you recommend to start off with? And I always recommend a black Versafine Clair, because you can always do your silhouette stamping in the black. And let's face it, how many of us go through so many black ink pads? I mean, it is a staple, but a good quality one is so important. And just one element, so you can do an awful lot with one. But then later we'll do the design as well and introduce the second one to show, as your stash builds up, how you can use one design but give it many different looks. So that's my idea. And just in case I forget, the piece of card I'm using, and this is multifarious, I use the A4 sheets. I love the pack of A4, and I cut them. So these I've cut into a 3.5 inches by 5.5 inches. It just gives me plenty of card, but also it gives me, I am funny, you know, look at these little strips, and these are perfect for stamping other little things on, like butterflies. It's quite funny, a lady the other day did say to me, which is the butterfly stamp you cover your mistakes with? I was dying to say what mistakes, but obviously she knows me well. So we'll start off with some stamping. Now again, I've gone for 3 stamps, but if you only had one, you could actually do this design with even just one. But I thought, let's go for 3. So I'll get another piece of card. Now I have got a couple more I've stamped up already, so we can just do different things. So the first one, the English Bluebell, and it's nice this because it's such a lovely silhouette. Now further down the line, as you build up your Versafine Clair collection, you can stamp these florals in different colours. But as I say, to start off with, we're just going to use the black. And then the wild foliage. And if you're not sure how your stamps are going to look, they all come on acetate and it's printed. So just pop your acetate on and think, oh yes, I like that. Be mindful to watch, obviously, where the stamp finishes. So we want that at the base. And again, this one looks fabulous in other colours when you build up your collection. But as I say, to start off with today, we're just going to use the black for these florals. This one, again, is one you can use totally on its own. And you can make quite a nice clump of these flowers just with this one stamp. And then to the third one I'm going to use, and this is the field grass, one of my all-time favourites, just because I find it so useful. And again, it's great, look, for just filling little spaces. It has a smaller one, a little sister called orchard grass, and that's very useful as well. Now with the field grass, I'm going to do some first generation, which is what we've done here. So that's where we ink up and we stamp the first time. But then, thought that was a mark on my card. But then I'm going to stamp again without inking up. And this gives us a second generation, which is paler. And two things there. One, you might as well use that ink, but also it helps with perspective and distance. So we'll do the same on the other side. And again, nice light tapping. I've got copy paper underneath because for me, it just helps with my stamping. So if you struggle with stamping, try some copy paper. Also, nice even pressure. Don't lift your stamp up too quickly. Let that ink just soak into the card. First generation there. And I think we'll have a second there. Now, I'm not keen on that little gap there. So what I'm going to do is come in with a first there and then a little bit more there. It just fills that. I wasn't keen on that, so I'm happy with that. So lid on, and to clean my stamps, I just have a damp cloth and I give them a wipe, and then I have a dry cloth. Mine's called an Inky Binky, and I won't say clean because look at it, but it's a fabulous cloth, and it just saves me using lots of kitchen roll. Now, it's a slower drying ink, your Versafine Clair, so try and get in the habit of blotting it. And that's where this copy paper comes in. It's very useful. So with this one, the one that was left. When we're starting off, if we just want to add some ink, one of the other things I always recommend is the lovely circle masks. You can do so much with these, but we'll just add the moon look. And I always turn mine round, just place the moon here, into our blue Lagoon. Again, brush and just gently on the lid. And what's good about these mats, these beautiful Lavinia mats, they're non-slip, so I can blend on the lid, look, and the lid's not going to move around, leaving this hand free to hold my moon mask in place. Dab the ink on the moon mask and then gently flick at the base first, because you've got the most ink on your brush. And if it's too dark, at least that'll look like shadowing. Ink up again, blend in the lid. Again, start at the base, build that colour up, then just move your hand round and add some nice light blue at the top. Now, I'm not going to go right to the edges, I'm just going to leave a little bit of white there. But another time, you could, if you want, go right to the edges. So what we've got now, if you wanted, you could leave the design at that point. To me, it's not complete. So I'm just going to come in with some blue just behind where the florals are. Again, blend in the lid and just blend that colour. Maybe just a little bit deeper at the bottom. Again, to clean the circle mask, we'll just give it a wipe. Now, if you want, you can leave it like that. And if that's all you've got, you leave it like that. But we'll come in, create another one. So same thing, look, this time, bit speedier. So this time, and again, what's lovely is this would be fabulous to batch card make. If you've got a lot of birthdays coming up, you know you're going to need some get well cards, even this would be lovely for a summer barbecue invitation. Now I'm going to make another one of these. So again, if I was batch card making, look. Again, always at the base, down over the florals, and then round at the top again, when I ink up, look, I go around the base and then round the top. Right, let's have a look. A little bit more at the base on this one. So this one, we're thinking, so we've got our original when all we've got is our black ink and our blue elements. So when you've been crafting for a while and you think, I'm going to buy another elements ink, let's see. So we're going to go for a pink. And a pink is very useful. And what I'm going to do is pop the moon mask back on. We'll just give it a wipe first. Get rid of some of that blue. And again in the lid. And we're going to introduce some pink into the design. And you don't need a lot. It's amazing. Start at the bottom but bring some round. Now let's turn it round and see. Look at the difference that makes. I'm going to bring it down here. But I think I'll leave just blue there. I like that. Now I'll just add a little bit more because I don't think it's going to show up as well for you. But if we give that a wipe and then we can put that away and bring the two in. So we've got the one with the blue and I'll just bring the pink one a bit closer just so you can see those lovely pinky tones. We'll put this one back over there. So we've introduced a bit of pink, but what we can do now is introduce some of our lovely water splats. So I've got a fan brush in a water pot and I'm just going to flick it. And this does the faux bleaching. Lift that up. And that will just give you that bit more interest. And we'll pop that to one side to dry. So another thing we can do, so this is the one where we've just got the blue. Let's give this a wipe, keep it nice and tidy. And again, as you're progressing and you're thinking, what other stamps do I need? And we all do that, don't we? Let's just get a nice clean piece. There we go. Maybe you'll get a verse stamp, and I do recommend getting a verse. And if you do, I would always put a little line, an arrow on the back, and it just saves you stamping it upside down, because believe you me, it's something I've done. And what we're going to do is I'm going to stamp some script in the background. Now, if you don't want it over the moon, you can pop the mask back on and protect that, but I want it right across. So what I've done is treated myself to another Versafine Clair, and this is Arctic. And you can see as your stash builds up, you can use the same design but introduce more. Now let's have a look on copy paper how this looks with first, second. Yes, now I don't think second will show up enough, so I think we're going to go for first. So let's link it up again. And I want this right over the moon. So I'm going to put it, actually if I put it there at the top, it will come down. Oh, that's lovely. And then I just want another first to carry it on. And I think I'll just offset it slightly this way. Yes, I think I'll go for there. And as I say, with my arrow, at least I know it's the right way up. So look, and for me that's lovely. So that's just given us another little twist on the design. And also what we can do is a white gel pen and just add some highlights. And again, these make all the difference. And you're just seeing how from that beginning, that almost basic design, you can just add more and more to build it up. Now this one, it might be you don't want the water splats, you don't like those, but you want a little bit of glitter. So in with our Stickles. And we're going to do a little bit of a dot and dab. So just watch with Stickles. Sometimes a lot can come out and it can spit at your work a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to put it on my lovely field grass. So I'm just going to put a couple of dots. And this one doesn't want to play, it needs unbunging. Just needs a little pin popping down. Sometimes that happens. So, and that's not the same colour. Let's have a look. It's Stardust that we're using. So we put a little dot on, and I don't want to overdo it. And also for me, my Stickles will last longer. It dries quicker. And I don't want a thick amount. And I'm not sure if you can pick that up. I just want a little bit of sparkle. I mean, it might be you want lots of sparkle, in which case you pop more on because then it's your design. So here's the one that we've got with the stamping on. And here's the one where that faux bleaching has dried. Now, what I'm thinking is, maybe you want to add a little bit something else. So when you're starting off, the mini stamps are absolutely fabulous. And again, my suggestion would be each time you pop an order in, pop one of the mini stamps in, because you can do an awful lot with the minis. And this is Mini Flutter, and this is the one that's very good if you need an emergency butterfly. And I save all my scraps of card luck and I stamp this beautiful Mini Flutter. Now I also have a tin, and when I've got 5 minutes, sometimes at the beginning of the day, sometimes at the end of the day, I stamp some butterflies, colour them and cut them out. So just to show you to colour this one, again, say you've only got your ink pads, you haven't got round to buying any lovely pencils or anything yet. Doesn't matter. Pop some ink on your mat. Fine paintbrush. And all you're going to do, again, it's your element, so it reacts with water. So you can watercolour paint with it. And this is the multifarious card, so it takes this beautifully. Now, obviously, I've put quite a lot of ink on there. And my suggestion is put almost one lot of ink on, look, where you've added the water, but then pick a little bit of the ink that's a bit deeper and add that in the middle. And just go over this little bit in the middle with the deeper ink. And it will just help add a little bit of perspective. Now, what we can do on our original one, this one, what you can do with the ink you've got left there, fan brush, and we can add, and this time we're going to put the splats over the moon, and we're going to add blue ones. So we've got the ink, and we're going to come in, so it's like the faux bleaching, but this time it's introducing the blue. We'll give that a wipe. So as you can see, there are so many different ways you can add little extra bits. So which one shall we put shall we go for this one? Yes, I like it on this one. I think we'll go here. So again, look at the difference just adding the butterfly makes. Now again, when I cut mine out, I'm afraid I cut the antennae off, please. I do give the butterfly a little anaesthetic first so it doesn't feel it. But look, no harm, it can still fly, because with a black fine liner, just draw them back on. And then a little bit of glue. So this is the Bippity Boppity glue. And just in the middle, so that the wings can be raised if I wish. Now it does dry clear, so don't worry. And there. So if we bring in the designs, you've got the design with the moon and the faux bleaching, just the water splats in that lovely element ink. So we've got the one where we've added another colour. We've gone with 2 colours of the elements, and we've added another stamp, the little butterfly. And we've got the one here where we've added the ink that was left. So we've got blue splats on that one, and we've left it, there's no highlights on that one or glitter. But then this one, we've added the stamping, the script stamp in the background, and we've added some white highlights and some lovely Stickles glitter glue. So I'm hoping that that might just show you from that one design, using just those 3 stamps, as your stash builds up, then the techniques you can do build up, and it's just that basic design. And again, if you think I've made mine portrait, you could turn this on its head and make a meadow landscape. If you've got your 2 colours of your ink, you could have done the field grass in that lovely light blue colour. Again, that gives you another variation. So I really hope, if you're one of our new friends and followers, you have a play with this. But also, if you're one of our lovely existing friends and you've got lots of stash, maybe just challenge yourself to using, say, 3 or 4 stamps and a couple of colours and see what you come up with. Do you know, it's a great way of enticing that Mr. Mojo back, because he's been going on holiday far too much recently and he needs to come back, and we can all have a lovely play and a lovely catch up. And you know what? I've got 4 toppers there. I could make myself a lovely set of noteless and gift them to a friend. So you take care. Please pop back tomorrow. I might have something exciting to show you. Can't wait. Enjoy your evening. Much love and hugs from me. Bye for now.